Hello, my friends. Welcome again, and thank you for joining me once again. Thank you for joining me here in Antalya, Turkey, where I will be broadcasting or recording today's the video for today. And I hope you guys will like it. I think it should be interesting, and I hope you like it anyway. Um, what are we gonna be talking about today? I think we're gonna be having a look or discussion about recent debacle or setback suffered by the Russian armed forces in Ukraine. It will be in line with my recent videos and just another way of making sense of what is going on, really, and my take. What I've come to realize or figure out is in war you have series of battles, and you could lose most of the battles but still win the war. However, it is quite apparent now that neither side is going to achieve his or her full aim and agenda. One of the aims of the Russian Federation or the political leaders was to demilitarize Ukraine and to make Ukraine a neutral ground. But looking at it, where I don't know, but I very much doubt that Ukraine is going to become or will agree to being demilitarized or neutral. It is quite apparent now that Ukraine has chosen to be on the side of United States of America. And America has become a very influential figure in the domestic affairs of the Ukraine as a country. The survival of the country itself, militarily and economically, is now more or less linked or will be determined by United States of America. So in that sense, the one of the goals of Ukraine becoming neutral cannot longer be achieved. Okay, and at the same time, the Ukrainian leadership or President Zelensky has said several times that he will not negotiate with Russia Federation, with President Putin in power, and that the goal of his government is to secure all the land that was part of Ukraine at the time of independence in 1991 or 92, after the fall of Soviet Union. This again will not be possible. Ukraine will never achieve that goal. I titled this episode as Losing and Winning. I think Russia Federation has lost most of the battles due to very bad planning. They went into Kiev without a clear goal or aim, and that's why they got stuck on the way, and they have miles and miles of military equipment and soldiers waiting for orders, not knowing what to do. And eventually they withdrew, having realized that to capture or control a city of 1 million plus, you will need a lot more army than they've got, especially when the citizens or the the people of the country are quite hostile. Again, they decided to withdraw to the east of the country, from the north to the east of the country. This, sooner or later, they realized they didn't have enough manpower to defend or the occupied land. Sorry, pardon me. The areas whereby they have taken over. So what happened again? They withdrew. I just had a cat coming, jumping on my back. That's why I kind of freak a bit while I was doing the video. I will show you the cat now. Oh, uh, there's the cat. There you have the cat. There you are. The cat is there, right behind me. Okay. And they withdrew. And the excuse given was they withdrew to strengthen their defenses and to retain Kherson. And consequently, President Putin mobilized 300,000 of the country's reserve or armed forces. But again, they soon realized, oh, by the way, we may not, where the last reason given was they were worried that the dam might be blown up by the Ukrainian armed forces, which may result in the area, Kherson city and surrounding towns and villages being flooded with consequently huge loss of life. And they were worried about their supply line, the logistics of being able to resupply the soldiers. Many people believe this argument. Again, it is, to me, it is unacceptable, because if they are unable to defend an area which is not that far from Moscow itself, or Rostov, which is one of their main military bases, then I don't see how they should be able to defend or boast of their. In fact, for a country that claims to be a military superpower or giant, it's a disgrace. Let's be honest. If you cannot defend a country that is that close, or an area of an area of your land which is quite close to your capital, how can you defend an area such as Yakut or somewhere in Siberia, which is so far away, or area that is even closer to Japan? How can you defend that? If there should be some kind of problem, that means basically the country is too big for the country's military forces to defend. Having said that, I would have thought they have helicopters to drop equipment and so on and so forth, just like the United States did during the Vietnam War. And okay, someone might argue, but that's a different war. Yes, it is a different war. But all I'm trying to say here is they lost this battle. There was a saying by one leader of a country during the first Gulf War in 1991. He said, "Don't start a war that you cannot finish or you cannot get out of." Saddam Hussein did, and he lost. He couldn't get out of it. And I think the same thing happened to President Putin. He got his country into this mess, and he's trying to find his way out, simply because he was not sure or clear in his aim and objective from beginning. Telling General Rofikin to go out and give the reasons why is complete BS. No matter what he thinks, if Putin had not approved that decision, If they would not have withdrawn. He must have either told the man or agree with him to withdraw the troops. Whoever people say it's a military, it is a military decision. Yes, it is a military decision, but no military decision can take place without the political consent or assent. Anyway, this is not the topic for today. What I'm trying to say here is, even though Russia has lost these three battles so far, Kharkov, Kiev, and Kherson areas, I still believe that they will win the war. Maybe not achieving all their aims, but the breakaway regions of Lugansk, Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Donetsk will remain part of Russia. Should he decide to give more of Russian territory, because these are now under Russian law, Russian territory, I fear for his survival. I think any more retreat, already I believe is this unnumbered, because looking at the Telegram channels and reading what people are saying, it is quite obvious that Russian people are not in support or are not happy with this decision. They may try to put on the brake face, so where it's better to do this, to save life. When you go to war, life will be lost. You never know how many lives will be lost. And from what I've read also in some of the channels also, the Ukrainians are beginning to shell the new settlement people have just moved to from Kherson. The people that moved from the east bank of Kherson to the west bank, some of the settlements whereby they are already being shelled, have been shelled today. So it shows that the Ukrainians are not willing to stop. They will continue to attack them. And make no mistakes, if there's determination, they will cross the river. They will establish a bridge link to the other side of the Kherson area. There was what President Putin wanted to do, in as much as it is kind of quite interesting to many people that support this idea, even though people might be against war, but many people reason with the idea that it is about time we have a bipolar or multipolar world, which is basically what he's trying to do is to remove the current establishment. It is basically a kind of revolution, but revolution as it is defined is a forceful change of the existing status quo, as still stands anyway. But is it revolutionary? I don't know. I'm not sure. Kashukuba said, revolution is not made of beds of roses. It is a matter of life and death. So, if they are trying to avoid losing lives, then they are not ready to change things. Because I don't think the people in charge currently, when I say people in charge, NATO or United States or the West, are willing to give up the current domination without some kind of fight. And that's why we probably say he is not a revolutionary. Anyway, like I said, Ukraine will never regain Crimea, where maybe, but the chance is very small. So in that sense, they will not win the war, and Ukraine will not regain Donetsk and Lugansk, because people in those areas, after 8 years, They are so determined to break away, and they've suffered so much, they've given a lot up. For them, they will not agree to anything else, not as in we have in Kherson region. So in that sense, I don't think that will be possible. Having said that, well, I'm gonna round this video up, and all I can say is keep looking for the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Okay, I'm going to show you some views from here in Antalya. I hope you're enjoying it.